Van Buren's Classics was a quaint little bookshop nestled in the heart of the city, where vibrant urban life mingled with whispers of the past. Its owner, Harold Van Buren, was an affable gentleman in his late 60s, with a passion for literature that seemed to weave through every fiber of his being. The walls of his shop were adorned with bookshelves that stretched to the ceiling, brimming with novels, antiquarian books, and first editions that bore the distinctive aroma of aged paper and ink. Harold's most prized possession was a leather-bound first edition of Dickens' Great Expectations, which he kept in a glass case behind the counter. One evening, as Harold was getting ready to close up shop, a young woman hurried in. Her name was Emily Foster, a graduate student working on her thesis about 19th-century literature. She had heard of Van Buren's Classics and hoped to find some unique references. Emily's enthusiasm was palpable as she browsed the shelves, her eyes wide with excitement. "Good evening," Harold greeted her with a warm smile. "Can I help you find something in particular?" "I'm looking for original texts and some rare volumes on Victorian literature," Emily replied. Harold nodded knowingly and led her to a secluded corner of the shop. "Follow me. I think you'll find these interesting." As they moved past towering stacks of books and a cozy reading nook, Emily couldn't help but feel like she was stepping back in time. Harold showed her an array of rare books, including some lesser-known works by famous Victorian authors. As Emily perused the selections, Harold shared stories about each book, his voice filled with reverence and passion. Emily was particularly drawn to a weathered volume of essays by Carlyle, its pages yellowed and delicate. Harold mentioned that it was said to have been owned by a close friend of the author. While Emily was lost in the world of ancient texts, a man in a dark coat entered the shop. He appeared mysterious and somewhat out of place amidst the cozy atmosphere. He approached the counter and locked eyes with Harold. "I hear you have a Dickens first edition," he said in a low voice. Harold's expression hardened slightly, but he nodded. "Indeed, I do. It's not for sale." The man's eyes narrowed, and he leaned in closer. "I'd pay handsomely for it." Harold shook his head firmly. "Some things are beyond price, sir." The man gave a curt nod and left as suddenly as he had appeared, leaving a shadow of unease in his wake. When Emily finally brought her selections to the counter, she noticed Harold's pensiveness. "Is everything all right?" she asked gently. Harold nodded, managing a smile. "Yes, just a reminder of how precious these books truly are." Over the next few weeks, Emily became a regular visitor at Van Buren's Classics, forging a bond with Harold over their shared love of literature. Harold even allowed her to study his prized Dickens edition under his watchful eye, knowing that she cherished it as much as he did. Through their interactions, Emily learned not only about the books, but also about the resilience and spirit of a man dedicated to preserving literary history. In turn, Harold found renewed joy in sharing his passion and knowledge with someone who truly appreciated it.